Hi, and welcome to Opulence Kitchen. I'm your host, the One Love Ninja, and today we have a very special treat for you. When I started living a more holistic life, a more holistic lifestyle, one of the things that I really wanted to do was limit the amount of chemicals that I enter into my body or that I'm exposed to, because that really affects us. When we can limit the amount of toxins, then we can live a more healthier lifestyle. And it was my pleasure and my honor to meet this woman that I'm going to introduce you to. Her name is Tracey. I met her through Dance Our Way Home, and what I've discovered is she's a very magical woman. She's a magical woman that makes very natural, beautiful products, healthcare products, skincare products out of natural materials. So here you go. Here is Tracey.
I'm Tracey Tia. I'm a certified natural health practitioner, and my passion is introducing people to holistic, fairly traded, and natural ingredients. So today, I've brought with me my clays, my micas, some iron oxides, and some base materials, and I'm going to introduce you to them. One of my favorite clays is zeolite. It's a volcanic mineral, and you can see it has this warm tan color and a very fine texture. And what's wonderful about zeolite is that it helps to pull toxins out of the body. So your mineral makeup not only gives you the jazzy appearance of makeup, but it also can help you. I'd like to call your attention to micas. These are just spectacular, and it's kind of hard to believe that these are natural. Mica is a mineral, and these minerals they're quite shiny, and they're colored with these iron oxides. The thing to know about mica is if you're buying mica, make sure that the mica you buy is lip safe. The reason for that is because just because you put it on your eyes doesn't mean it's not going to end up in your mouth. We touch our faces, we put our hands in our mouths. I think that anything that's not safe to put on your lips is probably not safe to put on your skin. So make sure when you buy mica that it's safe to ingest. Then we have our clays. And as far as I know, I'm the only one who really plays with clays when it comes to making mineral makeup. This is Australian black clay. It's super heavy, it's full of iron oxide, and it's really, really dark. So you wouldn't use a lot of this, and you can see that just touching it, I can put a nice black dot on my skin. So of course this is used with some caution. You can use these to dye your hair, but you have to be very careful and very adventurous. This is Multani Meaty clay from India. Like Rasool clay from Morocco, this is a clay that is used as an all-purpose healing and rejuvenating and detoxifying clay. We use all of these clays as tools when we are creating foundations, for instance, or concealers. Now I would like to show you how to make a mineral makeup, a kind of all-purpose mineral makeup that you can take with you to either freshen up the face or to give your cheeks a bit of color, or even to give yourself some eyeshadow. So I'm going to make an all-purpose thingy. So we're going to make that magic mineral makeup powder. Some useful tools. You can have a nice wooden stick. Often people make these with plastic, but I find that that's not necessary. And in fact, you can throw wooden sticks into the dishwasher, and they're self-healing and self-cleaning in some ways. So go for the wooden stick. You'll also want a container. I use these aluminum containers, 99% recycled aluminum. They're very lightweight, and they fit into the person. And it's also going to work really well with like one of those cosmetic puffs if you use those. I like to compose in a container with a bit of a curve in it. It just makes it easier to mix. And I also have my handy dandy drug scale. You can buy these scales at your corner store if you have drug dealing in the neighborhood. Otherwise, you can buy them online. They measure very, very small amounts of powders, which is quite useful for both drugs and mineral makeup. So here we are. I'm going to pretend like I'm measuring really carefully, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to have fun. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself 5 parts of zinc oxide. So I've got my zinc oxide, and the powder's just a tad lumpy. Don't worry about that for now. And then I'm going to take 1 part mica and 1 part clay. Now the clay that most closely matches my face, or maybe what my face is missing, is my favorite Australian pink. So I'm going to take 1 part of Australian pink. I'm also, because I like a little sparkle, I am also going to take some Urban Mist mica. Now for people who are old like me, you might want to keep your makeup completely matte, and the reason for that is that if it's completely flat, it will deflect light and hide some of your wrinkles. However, I don't really care. I like to be sparkly. So I'm going to take, actually this is bronze mica I'm putting in here, and I'm going to start stirring. I'm going to stir and stir and stir and stir. So now I've got a nice brown color. We generally make makeup on first impulse that's too light for our skin, so it's nice to go a little dark. I'm going to try this out on my skin, and I've got a pretty good match. Do you see that? Well, in fact, you don't see that, and that's because I have a pretty good match. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to bring out a machine that you may have. It's not necessary, but it makes damn fine makeup, so it also shortens the process, so hold on. This is the machine. You will recognize it as a $15 coffee grinder, just like that. But I only use this for makeup. But if you don't mind having a delicious coffee scent to your makeup and a little bit of makeup in your coffee, you can use the one you have. Clean it out with vinegar if you want to have a nice good clean. But I'm going to spin this in here and put it back in the bowl and see if it still matches my skin color. So I spun this for 21 seconds, let it rest and stir a little bit off the edges, and then spun it for another 21 seconds. And now I'm holding it upside down so that it will settle out and I can get it out of the cup. Please don't inhale mica. In fact, because your lungs don't want to breathe anything that's not air. Generally what happens is that some of the fine zinc will break up when you put it through your coffee grinder, and your color will be a bit lighter, maybe a bit lighter than you expect. So here's our color, and I'm going to try that on my skin. It's very, very fine right now. I'm going to try it on my skin, and oh la la, it is a bit lighter. Can you see that? Can you see? This was the original one, and this is lighter. And in fact, it's too light. Unless I'm going for the geisha look, it's too light. So on first impression, it doesn't look too light, but then it is. So I'm going to go for yet another scoop of my Australian pink, and I'm going to go for another scoop of bronze and stir that up. This is much better. Better. Much, much better. Here we have something that blends in with my skin. As opposed to this was our first attempt here. So let's go with this. I'm going to put it into my container. You can put it in any container you like. I do recommend something that's roughly the size of your powder puff, and you can save compacts that you've already emptied with commercially made makeup. And now here comes a funny part that may surprise you. We're going to put some oil in here. Oil-free makeup is a bit of a scam. It has to do with how skin works. makeup. If you don't use oil, you have to use some weird chemical. Your skin is not irritated by oil. Your skin is irritated by petroleum waxes and stuff like that. So don't worry about this. We're going to use some jojoba oil. And this is going to hold it together for us. If we don't, then it's too powdery and it won't hold together. So I'm going to start with actually 6 drops. So you can see here that I'm going after all of the little bumps and just flattening them with my wooden stick. If you like, you can add some essential oil as a fragrance element. Most commercial makeups will add essential oils. Often they'll use citrus essential oils, which is funny because citrus is photosensitizing. It allows the light rays to penetrate your skin more deeply. And that is one reason why women get blotchy darkenings around their skin, especially as they get older. It's because their skin's actually getting burned and damaged by the citrus essential oils used as fragrance in makeup. So don't do that. If you want to use a citrus scent, you can use a neroli and a jojoba oil, or you can use a 5-fold, which means it's been distilled 5 times over, and so the terpenes are actually removed from the oil. Here we are. We're going to press this. I'm just using a flat cup, and I'm using my body weight to press it. You can use a bottle or anything that you're comfortable. And now for the results. I've got a handy dandy puff that I bought from Etsy. It's cloth. You could reuse any cosmetic puff that you found in a compact. I'm just going to use this like this. You're going to be able to apply your makeup just the same way that you apply makeup. I'm going to go try some on, so the second half of our video you'll see me wearing this. This thing is wet. Well, I'm back and I'm wearing some of my all-purpose Liven Your Face Up makeup. I put some on my eyes and some on my cheeks. And in a moment, I'm going to invite our One Love Ninja to make herself some beautiful eyeshadow. However, I want to show you one last really important thing. That is that after you make your stuff, you want to make sure that you label it. And not only label it, you want to make sure that you write down what your formula was. The reason is, if you don't like what you did, you don't want to have to do it again. And if you do like what you did, it's especially important that you want to know exactly how you got there. So I'm going to take a moment to write myself an explicit label, and when I come back, we're going to have the One Love Ninja here to make herself some beautiful